Life has a way of teaching us the truth, even when we least expect it. I'm Chaterine Whitmor, and today I'm going to share a deeply personal story, one that I hope will help someone out there find clarity, strength, and the courage to choose themselves. It all began in a charming countryside town just outside of Bath. I had been invited to the wedding of a dear friend. The venue was breathtaking, with ivy crawling up stone walls and laughter filling the air. I remember feeling light that day, carefree even. The music was playing, guests were dancing and sipping champagne, and I was enjoying every moment. That's when I noticed him. A tall, handsome man, standing near the back, alone. He had a quiet presence, and though he didn't join the festivities, he watched. Mostly, he watched me. Our eyes met several times, but he never approached. 2 days later, I received a message on my phone. "Hello, I saw you at the wedding. May we talk?" I replied cautiously, curious. "Who is this?" "I'm the man from the wedding." "You looked radiant." "I'd like to get to know you." That was the beginning. We exchanged messages for days. His words were charming, measured almost poetic. He said I was special, that he saw me as his future wife, the mother of his children. At first, I laughed. We barely knew each other, but something in his voice, the certainty, was disarming. And foolishly, I said yes. The wedding was modest, held at a family home. I wore ivory silk. He looked dashing in a charcoal grey suit. I believed I had found my companion, my equal. In the beginning, everything was beautiful. He was attentive, affectionate, full of surprises. I felt adored. But not long after, just a month, perhaps small cracks began to show. One day, I noticed him smiling at his phone. "Who are you texting?" I asked. "Just a friend," he said too quickly, sliding it away. At first, I ignored it. Love must be trusting, I told myself. But over the years, the signs grew. He became distant, cold. His phone was always hidden. He came home late, claiming work obligations. And then, one night, he made a mistake. He left his phone on the coffee table. My hands trembled as I opened it. There were messages, dozens of them, from another woman. Romantic words, photos, plans. He called her my love, my everything. Names he never once called me. What pierced me the most was that I knew her. She was from my own circle, older than him, 3 children, a woman whose husband worked abroad. I later discovered they had been involved long before I ever met him, and he never stopped. He bought her gifts, took her children to the park, spent nights away with her while I stayed home, raising our children, wondering why I felt so empty. When I confronted him, he looked ashamed. "I'm sorry," he said. "It was a mistake." A mistake? No, it was a choice. Repeated, deliberate choices. I left. I took the children and went to my parents' house in Cornwall. I stayed silent for a month. But silence doesn't heal. Plain honesty does. So I told them part of the truth. Not all, but enough. They begged me to forgive him for the sake of our children, so I gave him another chance. But of course, it happened again. I saw them in his car, laughing, close. The betrayal was no longer hidden. It was bold, almost proud. He apologized again, begged, pleaded, but I had changed. My heart was no longer his to deceive. So I made a decision. For the first time, I chose myself. I filed for divorce. I left my country. I left my children with my parents for stability. I went abroad and started over. It wasn't easy, but it was right. If you've listened this far, perhaps you're going through something similar. I want you to know it's not your fault. Trusting someone is not a weakness, but learning to walk away from someone who keeps breaking your heart, that is strength. I chose freedom over illusion, and so can you. If this story moved you or reminded you of your own strength, please like, subscribe, and share. You never know who needs to hear this today.